Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about food that's really good for your brain. And so I've gone into my pantry and my refrigerator and I've picked out all kinds of foods to share with you today so that you can learn about some brain healthy foods. There are so many different healthy foods and they have all kinds of vitamins and minerals in them. But these foods in particular focus on your brain and your brain health. So the first food I'm going to show you is last night's dinner, and it's salmon. And so any of these, they call them fatty fishes. Salmon is considered a fatty fish. Tuna is a fatty fish. Mackerel. Any of these fatty fishes have this oil in them that really works to help you think better. So it's one of the best fishes for your brain. And it's delicious. The next food I'm going to share with you is another kind of a protein that you might eat for dinner, and it is a steak. Mine is frozen. But steak or chicken are good proteins that you can use to fuel your brain. Also, if you are not a meat eater, tofu or any of those kind of meat substitutes are really good for your brain also. So you can get your proteins that way. Another great brain food are beans. And so these are some dried beans. These are pinto beans. Let's see if I can get in there and you can see them. Well, I'm having trouble. There we go. These are pinto beans. You could use all kinds of different beans though, and they would be really healthy for you. You could have chili beans like the kidney beans, black beans, refried beans. All kinds of beans are really super good for your brain and for your brain's growth. Okay. Let's look at another protein that's super good for you. Close up my beans. The egg. This is a fantastic and inexpensive brain food. And you know what part of this egg is the best for your brain? The yolk, the yellow part. It contains different fats and minerals that go straight to your brain and do all that good, healthy brain growth and work. So if you have something you're going to do with where you need some good problem-solving skills, you can just scramble yourself up a couple of eggs. There you go. And you'll be all ready to get that brain going and get all those neurons moving and firing up. Okay. Another great food for your brain are nuts and seeds. And so at our house, we eat a lot of peanut butter. My kids love peanut butter. We eat it on sandwiches, whole grain breads, and we also eat it on apples and with celery. So peanut butter is a super brain food for you. Peanuts, walnuts, any kind of nuts, cashews. Now, of course, you would want to be really careful if you are, make sure you're not allergic. A lot of people end up that it turns out that they are allergic to nut butters. So you have to not be allergic to peanut butter for it to be healthy for you, or almond butter. But they're really delicious and they provide the right kind of fat for your brain growth. I say I brought the apple too, because a lot of times we'll cut up apples and slice them and then put peanut butter on them. They're so good that way. Now, you're probably wondering, what about vegetables? Aren't vegetables good for my brain? Absolutely, they are fantastic for your brain. And so I brought out some Brussels sprouts. Green leafy vegetables particularly are good for your brain. So if you have Brussels sprouts, or if you have some spinach, and I brought some spinach. My spinach is from the freezer. Or if you have broccoli, and I bet you can think of some more really delicious green, dark green vegetables that would be delicious and brain healthy. All right. The last food that I'm going to share with you today is another breakfast food, and it is oatmeal. I wanted to share this with you because this would be a fantastic way to start your morning. If you like oatmeal, and you could have some oatmeal with a cup of milk put in here. So if you put your oatmeal in a bowl, and then put your cup of milk in a bowl, and cook it with another brain food, berries. So any kind of berry is really super good for your brain. And what I have read is that the darkest berries are the very best of all. So the blackberries and the blueberries would be a little better than the raspberries, but they're all good. So any of them that you like would be perfect to put into your oatmeal. You cook that up and have that for breakfast before you come to school or before you start studying, then that is going to fuel your brain. See, what happens when we eat something like a Pop-Tart or some sugary cereal is that we feel great to start with because it gives us a lot of energy. But what happens is we start to get tired after a little bit. And that energy doesn't stay with us as long as if we were eating nut butters or oatmeal or the eggs and the green leafy vegetables or the salmon or all of these kinds of foods that I've shared with you today. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to go to our slide, and you'll see there's a link to a Padlet. On the Padlet, I want you to put some foods down that you have found in your pantry or your refrigerator or your freezer that you think would be good brain foods. All right, and then you can put those on a little sticky note on our, oh, it's not a Padlet, it's a Jamboard. You're going to put it on our Jamboard. There's a link to a Jamboard, and you will put the little sticky note on the Jamboard, and then you'll share with everybody all the different kinds of brain foods that you thought of and that you found in your refrigerator or your pantry. So I love you guys, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.